If you're tired of not really knowing how much you can make every day on Amazon, I want you to watch this video. When you don't know how much you're going to make, it can be really discouraging to watch the sales come in organically or to open your account and you see zero. My name is Jenny Hansen-Lane and I've been publishing for 2.5 years. And I am currently making $100 a day on Amazon KDP. And I have had a $855 day. I've had a $200 day. But to get started, we've got to start small, right? We've got to start by making $10 a day and then $20 a day, and then we can get up to $100. So time of this video, it is the 23rd. And so far I'm making $2,614. If I divide that by how many days of the month so far, there's 23. I'm currently making $113. Now I know what will happen in 7 days. I know that in 7 days, I will be able to do $113 each day. Okay. So I know that in 7 days, I'm going to make $795 additional dollars. Okay. And when I add this to my 2614, it totals to 3409. Now you might be thinking, how exactly do you even know that? One of the reasons that I know this is I track my sales every single year. And so, every single day I put it in a tracker. If you guys want to copy that tracker, I've got a freebie for you below. If you grab this freebie, you need to check your email with my name and you need to reply to that, your favorite color. For some reason, if people aren't getting my emails, you just won't ever hear of any freebies that you get from me. The benefit of replying to this email is that you'll get more bonuses because my email system knows that you're actually active. So I want to get to know, like, tell me your favorite color. When you opt into these freebies, you will get an email from my name. So you can literally Google my name. Okay, so you can see I've had ups and downs on my KDP journey. This high spike in January of 2024 or 2023, one of my books went viral. I made 11K in just that month. And I've had my account suspended accidentally by Amazon KDP, and even intentionally they put a pause to do an audit. So with all the ups and downs that I've experienced, I've still been able to bring it back to getting that $100 a day. And so if you're not at $10 a day, put that in the chat so I know where you're at. But essentially the whole reason that I know that I'm making this amount is because I am running Amazon ads. So right now, if I put in $1, I'm likely to get $3 or $4 out. I'm building out this pipeline so I know what to project. I know how much I'm going to spend in ad spend. I'll make about $3,500 for April, and my ad spend will be about $1,000. So that means my take home is going to be, gosh, I've got to do the math. You guys are like, you know the math, right? About, I might go over 1,000. That's why I'm kind of hesitant. 2,400. Okay. So that's about $850 more than last month. I'm slowly scaling this up because my goal is in September, that's when my books sell the most. BookBeam has shown me this data. Let me actually pull it up and show it to you. All right, so this is the stats page for BookBeam, and I'll actually do a tutorial of this after I show this to you. So this is a prompted journal. So that I packed so much value into this low content book, and that's why I have a royalty of $5.99. Some of you might be thinking, a prompted journal is not low content, Jenny, it's media content. I've actually been doing a test right now on Amazon KDP. I've been uploading prompted journals, and some of them are going as low content and some of them are going as medium content, which is just normal content. And I'm thinking, like, is it the department? We know there's 3 KDP supported departments. 2 are in India and 1 is in the United States. And I always wonder, like, is this because of, different department is working? This book is not seasonal, but the sales do spike in September. And it's not a book people are buying for each other during Christmas. So that means that my royalties will spike in September and I need to hold on to those royalties because I'll get paid out, let's see, October, November, December. So in September, I need to start keeping track with this summer because the royalties that I'm making, that 2,400 that I'm even making for April, I need to have enough ad spend to scale up my account in December. This is a lot of the reason why people don't get ahead in their KDP journey is because they're not willing to set aside some of the profits to put back into the book, put back into the brand. And so I want you just to think about that when you start making those $10 a day. Put aside 30% for a couple months so you can turn on your first ad. Let's dive into the BookBeam stat so you can see this for other books. Okay, so let's look at this book, Boosting Mental Toughness for Teenagers. Let's go down to BookBeam. The nice thing about BookBeam is it shows us the book history. This gives us an idea over a 1 month to 1 year period how well this book is selling. This gives me a very good idea if I actually want to publish in the niche. And this one looks like the BSR is pretty good. It doesn't make sales every single day, but it's been very consistent for the past almost 2 years. We can look at the ratings and reviews, which I think are always really interesting. This one, it actually over 1 month has not increased reviews, but if you go up to 1 year, you can actually see this. For my prompted journal, it seems like every 100 cells, it gets another review. So you can see here that as this book is progressing, you can see where you get reviews, okay? And then this is my favorite part. Recently, I just started using this a ton. This lets us know the 7-day ranking. It's almost selling every single day. 30 days, it's a little bit higher. I don't know if this publisher is running ads to this book, but that literally could help. Here's another really interesting thing is that boosting kids' self-confidence, teenagers, it's coming up in May. Like, whatever reason, it's, kids are getting out of school, parents are wanting to do stuff with their kids. So I think it's a really good trend to follow these statistics so you know what's in demand and you can plan your book out that way. Let's go to Everything Teen Boys Should Know. I bought one of these for my older son, and I think he read it in like a day. Okay, let's go to our BookBeam. I love this plugin tool because it really helps me cut through the clutter. Like, do I want to publish in this niche? And it takes a second to populate. There we go. Okay, great BSR, right? This book, it's letting us know how much it makes, almost $600 a day. Let's go up to the year, up to our book history. Okay, so being able to publish in BSRs in categories that are in demand is really helpful. But at the end of the day, like, we have to start making $10 a day, right? This is a Christmas book. Look at this. Okay, so December, it does super good. This is going to get really low when Christmas comes. Okay, so oftentimes when we're trying to make that $10 a day, there's a little bit of math that we need to do to figure it out. And let's actually dive into the math. Now, this is actually a free tool. This is BookBeam's KDP royalty calculator. And I love Beth Bezos, but he does us a disservice because when we upload a book, picking the price is the very last option given to us before we hit submit. And I like to reverse engineer everything. So let's make sure that we have the profits built in to be able to get to $10 a day, right? I'm showing you how I'm up to $100 a day, but it's because I built in that $5.99 price point that allows me to do that as I'm scaling with ads, okay? And you guys know, as I've shared with you, let me pull up my calculator. I said that my ad spend is going to be around $1,000, okay? So that means that each day I'm spending about $33 to bring in that $100. So if we do the math correctly, you could be spending $3 to bring in $10 a day. It is very simple. We don't have to get too crazy about it, okay? So as we're looking at paperback, we're going to choose black ink. We're going to choose 6x9. We are going to choose, just so you guys know, can you see this price break? 109. I don't know what that 373 is. Let's look. 99, and then let's do 9.99. Okay. So if we do a book for $9.99, our royalty is $3.67. Okay. So if we're spending $3, then it is really difficult to break even unless the ads bring in organic sales, which should happen if you have a good book, okay? I personally like to go to the price break. Let me show you 110, what happens, okay? 369, 2 pennies change. So you could literally go up, but I like to go like, I'll do 100 or 109 right here. And then I will pack enough value in my book. I will solve a big problem, right? I want to solve something. And actually my royalty has changed a little bit with Amazon. When they upped the price in June of 2023, they started charging more for printing, okay? And so anytime that this book, my BSR gets below 100,000, I will higher the price, okay? Because I want margins to scale and I want to make sure that there's value in this. So every book that does really well for me, I have A+ content on the sales page. I used to not do that, and it was kind of a mistake. It was a lazy choice that I made, and it's a disservice to the customers if we're not painting the picture of what the book can be like in their hands, especially with AI. I've got a training video I did just a couple weeks ago on AI with A+ content. It's about 40 minutes here on this channel. It's free, so go check it out. So now I know that I have to sell 2 books a day to get to $10 a day, right? That is very achievable, even if I'm organically sharing it or I'm doing ads. Now, some of you are like, I've tried ads, they don't work for me. The best way to use ads is to do the proper keyword research first, okay? So to make $100 a day, let's put in our royalties of $5.50 into the calculator. That is 18 sales a day, okay? So that is something that you should work up to. It will not happen overnight. I've been doing this for 2.5 years, but I want you to understand that a lot of people skip this stage. A lot of people don't even put this much into their book. They don't spend time adding value, and it makes it really difficult, okay? So when we talk about value, what is the problem that you're solving and who is this serving? The 2 last examples that I showed you, one was for teenage girls. Parents will pay to increase their teenage girls' mental health and awareness and confidence. The other one was life skills for boys. Those are very high educational type of books, and I love actually publishing there because parents will pay that. I know that because I'm a parent and I will pay that too, okay? So let's dig into a little bit more math for you to understand. If you're not making $10 a day, we've got to get you there so we can start making $100 a day passively with Amazon KDP. Okay, so a really important aspect of making $100 a day is building out a brand of books. You might be asking, like, what are you talking about, Jenny? If you followed me at any point, you know that I have 96 pen names. And this allows me to do a lot of testing, but also allows me to build out a brand. Okay, so we've got one book here, right? And it is selling. It's a great BSR. Now, what would be the next logical thing? What do you guys think? Should I go and find another niche to publish in? Or should I double down on this niche? I should double down on this niche, right? And let's say that not every book that I'm publishing in my account is going to bring in that $5 royalty. I actually want to have a variation to pick up all different types of customers. In marketing, we call this anchor psychology, okay? And so I have this main book that brings that in, but when they click on my pen name, they find other books that work as a complement to my existing, okay? And I want to be the expert in this field. If you were to come into my bookstore now, would I have rented out this whole big space just so you could buy 2 books? Absolutely not. I want you to buy more, right? And so what I'm doing is I have one, sorry, this is off-centered. It shouldn't bother me. Oof. I have one book, okay? And this is what we call anchoring, okay? If you walk into a store and you see something very expensive, you are less likely to buy something cheaper because they have done price anchoring, okay? And so I like to use price anchoring for my books where I always have one that is the most expensive. It's the one that I run ads with because I have the most royalties, right? And in marketing, Dan Kennedy, he is a multimillionaire. He markets with a fax machine still, but he says the person that can spend the most to acquire a customer wins, okay? So when we have more royalties inside of our book brand, then we are able to sell because this is what happens. You're like, oh, Jenny, it's not just one book that is making me $100 a day. It's my entire book brand, okay? And so when the customer comes in, they're like, oh, she's got another book that I want, right? And so the way that I build these books is from my ads data. It tells me what the customer wants, okay? And so I will build out a plethora of different types of books for the customer, and I will make sure that it's a good experience for them, okay? So now when I have one brand and I have this anchoring, one book brand, I'm able to give the customers a really good experience, and I have multiple royalties. Now, what happens on Amazon is a customer's like, oh, I feel very seen by Jenny. She has this prompted journal and she's solving all these problems for my team that wants to increase her mental health. Look at all these different types of books. Not only is it a mental health journal, it's a mental health word search. It's a mental health maze book. Okay, so like really think outside of the box with this, because let's get out our calculator. We have one book for $5.99, right? And let's actually say we have 10 books at $2.40 times 10. Okay, we sell 10 books a day. That's $24. Okay, with ads we can increase that. Currently, right now, with my particular ad campaign, I have 110 campaigns on. For every $1 that I spend, I get back $4.67. Okay. So some of you, including my husband, is like, you could scale this to the moon. What are you not doing? I get a little bit nervous, right? And I'm slowly scaling. You guys have seen, I even turned off my ads. That was a mistake. I am slowly scaling because you get paid out. Another reason why people don't run ads is because you get paid out every 60 days, right? So what I'm making for April, I'm not actually able to put into my ad spend until June. Okay. And so that's why I want you to set aside some royalties to get to the $100 days. Okay. So set aside, you're probably like, oh yeah, after taxes, I don't have any money. Yeah, me too. We'll have a whole conversation if you want to talk about taxes. Woof. We can have a whole conversation about it. Okay. But making money or not making money, like what do you pick? What would you pick, right? I'd rather make money and grow my wealth and grow my time freedom than not try anything at all. Okay. So we have to have the mindset that like there's cost to run business. Okay. Okay. So here, this is a mistake that I've made previously, is like, I'm not actually setting aside enough for ads. I talked to 2 friends today and I think they could have made over 50 grand in KDP royalties for December if they would have built up a bigger ad budget. And these are amazing publishers, and they're going to hit 50K in December because they had this lesson. So I'm sharing this with you to help you overcome those pitfalls, to think about where you need to get started, right? And being able to provide that value. Now, some of you might be thinking like, I absolutely cannot imagine having a book that has $5.99 in royalties. That's okay. You have to start somewhere, right? And so if you build out a book brand where your royalties are $2 and $3, that's okay. Just try to focus on less competitive, okay? So think about those, let's see. Think about those searches under 4,000, searches under even 15,000. Like there's customers that are really underserved on Amazon, and you can get going organically. So I have been doing a test since February. I have 28 books studied in 28 days, and all the royalties are anywhere from $2.40 to $3.69. And I'm not turning on ads for them until December. And then I'm going to use this anchoring strategy when I do. And one of the books, I'm going to price it as high as I can. I'm going to just run ads just to the anchor book. Okay. And then what I'm hoping for, which I have seen from my other pen names, is that customer will buy this book and then they'll be attracted to everything else in the library for that pen name. Okay. And I will get organic sales, and the organic sales will allow me to put back more money into my ad spend. Okay. So let me know what questions you have on getting started to make $10 a day, because that is that this step-by-step will allow you to do the $10 a day. And if you're not tracking, it's going to be really difficult. So in the comments, let me know, like, are you tracking? And grab that freebie. Make sure you reply to any email you get. Just tell me your favorite color so we can be friends and Google will know that we're friends. And then also in the comments, let me know, what else would you like to see a video on? What would help you? I'm really gearing up to have a really fun Q4. I really want to be prepared for Q4 because last year I turned off my ads as an experiment and it was the dumbest, blondest thing I could have ever done. But guess what? You get to learn from me. You get to not have these pitfalls because I'm here. You can learn from my mistakes. All right. I love you guys. See you in the next video. And if you ever want to join my free training, let me grab the link for you. Okay. And this is 3 days later from when I recorded this video. This is actually going live today. It's now the 26th. And we can see that we have crossed 2,900. And so with my ad spend, I was actually able to bring the royalties up to $114 instead of $113. So I am very slowly trying to raise the royalties of my account by using ads. Now, over the next 4 days, I should bring in $456, and this will be interesting to see if we hit a total of $3,421. Okay, so follow this process. Let me know what questions you have just to get started. If you're not making $10 a day, put that in the chat. If you've hit a certain milestone, you can't get above it, let's work you through it. Let's get you there. Okay, and here's a link to the free training. This is live, and we're going to talk about finding those low competition, especially if you've never published. I definitely want you to come to this training because it's so fun. I'm going to show you some of the stuff my kids have been doing. We're going to talk about how books can be profitable, and I would love to have you.